Hey everybody, it's Sam from MeetGeek here, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video presentation. And really it's a demo walkthrough for what we believe can be a revolutionary software that takes your meetings to a whole new level. Literally, it's 2 clicks, you connect which one of those softwares, MS Teams or Zoom, and then on top of that you connect your calendar. It supports all major calendars, Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, so on and so forth. Connect that, and then you're pretty much done. Literally, it's a couple of clicks. Here we go. It'll bring you into the main home screen of MeetGeek. So this is what you see here. So just to give you a quick orientation of the platform, when you first log in, or every time you log in, you'll first be taken here, which is your, as you can see, upcoming meetings. And this basically connects to your calendar. And it gives you all the meetings that you have lined up in your calendar for, a long way into the future. And as you can see here, MeetGeek automatically has this selected to join all of your calls. If, for example, there's a call you don't want MeetGeek to join, inside here, the platform, you can just toggle this on or off in a split second and it won't join the meeting. And if you start a meeting, let's say, and you want to not have MeetGeek record it, inside the meeting itself, all you need to do is check the button in the top right-hand or top left-hand corner and disable it, and obviously MeetGeek won't do its thing. But by and large, you most likely will want everything being tracked, and definitely if you're running a team, this will automatically record every single meeting your team is having together and track all of this. And obviously on the left hand side here, it's got a whole set of menus, and we'll be going through what each of these areas are in detail and explaining to you exactly the powerful features and benefits of the MeetGeek platform. So when you first start, this is where you're going to end up. Now, one nifty thing you'll see straight away is if you click here, it's got a little flag. We've got the flag here. This is actually to control a few simple things. So first off, we have templates, and we'll be going into more detail as to what templates are in a second. So we have templates here. The next thing you see here is languages. So MeetGeek supports a bunch of different languages. As you can imagine, this is one of the key features of MeetGeek. It needs to be able to understand, read, transcribe, and do a whole lot more with everything going on in your meetings. So we are rolling out, long term, we want to have every language under the sun, but by and large, all the major languages of the world are supported. And if not, we will get round to it as soon as possible. And then here, if you want to set your agenda, again, this agenda being set is very important because it allows you to automatically send this information to all the attendees who are there. It updates in the calendars, so on and so forth. Again, we'll be explaining this as we go on. And then a few other things down here, which are, things we're testing in beta, etc. But by and large, if you want to make any quick changes to the language settings, to the agenda, to the meeting template itself, then obviously it's here. So yeah, that gives you a little bit of control here, but all the benefits and features will actually be when you're actually in the meeting, which we'll be explaining in a moment. So in the top right hand corner, you'll see a tab called View Past Meetings. We're going to click on here, and the great thing about MeetGeek is that depending on what platform you're on and what subscription you're tied to, MeetGeek will keep all your previous meetings indefinitely forever. So all the things that MeetGeek does that we're going to talk about during this demo, the slicing, the dicing, the meeting notes, transcriptions, the highlights, yada, 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 all that great stuff will be kept indefinitely. So what this gives you is a full catalog of every single meeting you have ever taken on or partaken in. Now, the other great thing is that it breaks it down for you. If you miss the meeting, and again, this depends on how you want to manage your team and the management suite aspects of the platform, which we'll be going through in detail. Even if you miss the meeting, it will catalog all of this for you as well and do all the great stuff that it does. If you have meetings on other platforms, let's say, for example, you have a meeting on Skype or something like this, or a meeting on another platform that's let's say quite unknown, you can upload that meeting and MeetGeek will run its magic on the full meeting and do all what it does, which you'll see a bit later. So which is another great thing. And then for other people who use MeetGeek, they can happily share meetings with you. So even if someone's in your organization or another organization, you can do it cross team, you can do it cross companies. You can be added to it just like you would do in a Google Drive. If you're familiar with Google Drive or with OneDrive with Microsoft, it works exactly the same way. So it allows you to segment everything like this. On top of that, when it comes to managing your team, what you can also do is group meetings according to divisions in your company. So for us, we have engineering, human resources, sales, marketing, right? I'm sure you can think of many other groups. You can actually segment these out. So when people in these groups are meeting, it actually allows you to easily find meetings grouped on which divisions or organizations inside your business as they collaborate. You'll be able to see all the wonderful stuff that MeetGeek gives you specific to those teams as you wish. On top of that, you can search. So not only can you search for the people that you've had meetings with, you can search by keywords. You know, so even if you type here MeetGeek, you know, it can look through all the transcriptions of every single meeting where this has come up or this word has come up or wherever it's come up, basically, whether it's the person joining, the transcription, the notes, whatever it may be, it can easily search, scan, and show you all of this. So it's very, very easy. The search tool in this area is very, very effective, especially if you're someone who has a lot of meetings. It really does help to be able to catalog and search for these meetings in this way. We found it a really, really useful tool. So yeah, this is where you will come and be able to catalog all the meetings you've done in the past and have access to it. Like I said, depending on your subscription, this will be here for you indefinitely. And as you can see, with every meeting, it gives you on the side here some basics: who attended, who was the lead, what time the meeting took place, and also how long the meeting went on for, what sort of actions were taken off the back of this meeting. Again, all this stuff will be explained. The software is very, very powerful, and it does intuitively know what emotional intelligence is inside the way you're speaking, and it is able to pick these things up and start categorizing them, and it actually works with you. It allows you to specifically track certain words, and also it understands, like I said, it has emotional intelligence. It understands your tonality, so it starts putting these things into categories. So as basically the more you use MeetGeek, the more it learns about you and your organization, which then only enhances the benefits of what it can do for you and your team when it comes to the way in which it breaks down a meeting. And on that note, let's actually click into a meeting and show you a little bit about what MeetGeek can do. Okay, so now let's find a meeting and let's show you what this bad boy can do. So, okay, so let's pick this one. Right. Okay, so now the meeting has loaded up. Okay, so this is a meeting we've had in the past. Now, pay very close attention here. This is one of the main features and benefits of the MeetGeek platform. And there's a lot here that you can do, and there's a lot that MeetGeek does for you. The majority of this is done automatically for you. So pay attention, because a lot is going on here, and it really is phenomenal what this can do for you. So if you go to the top right, what you'll see is this little yellow toggle between summary and transcript. Okay, so first thing to note is in transcript mode, which is, you know, basically a full collection of everything that's being spoke about, what you'll see is it has the name of who's speaking and the timestamp of when they're speaking. Okay, and in collaboration, well, in cahoots with each other, is the transcript and the video. So the video and the transcript will be moving in sync when you're actually looking through the notes themselves. So I've put the video on mute so it doesn't interrupt our demo here. But for example, if I just hover over a section, I can basically click on this little play button next to the words, and what will happen is it will start playing the video down here, and I can just pop it out, and as you can see, the transcription is playing as the video is speaking. So it's pretty straightforward to track where you are visually and also audio. Obviously the audio is on mute now for the purposes of this demo, but yeah, I think you kind of get the gist here. And the other good thing about this is that this video player does everything, you know, a typical video player has. It has speed, so you can increase the speed of which you're listening to it. It has captions as well. It auto captions it and puts it on the video, so in full screen mode. As you can see, these are the captions along with the video itself. And then what we can also do is turn the captions off, and, you know, so on and so forth. So it really does work like a full video player, and it's very, very easy to toggle back and forth between all of these modes, which is really, really obviously beneficial for looking back through everything. And as you can see underneath the yellow toggle, it also has a search box, so you can type in anything here, and you can imagine it will easily search for all these things for you. It has a really, really great search feature. Now, what I want to do now is start talking to you about the advanced things it can do. So underneath here, you'll see it has some labels, okay? And in these labels, this is what I was talking about with the emotional intelligence. If I toggle to summary mode, what it actually does is it takes these labels. Actually, let me go back to transcript so you can understand. So in transcript mode, if I start scrolling down, as you can see, it starts categorizing the way in which you're speaking. So anything that is not green, so for example, this action, this is something that the AI automatically spots in the way in which you're speaking. And once it highlights that you said something that's an action point, it doesn't just focus on what you said. The AI actually contextually understands the flow of sentences and will snippet the whole section, even though this is the part which is the action point, highlighted obviously in purple here. It gets the context and snippets the whole thing, okay? And it does this for all the different types of labels, and you can create your own labels. Remember I said earlier that the AI has emotion, like it understands emotional intelligence. So it comes with these things preset, but you can also make your own presets. And like I said, as you use MeetGeek more and more, it actually learns with you individually, it learns with your company, and it just is able to give you more and more insights the more and more you use it, the more data you feed it. So as you can see here, it comes with a bunch of different, let's say, labels that it spots. And you can also highlight these things. For example, if I highlight here, I can click on this, so on and so forth. And we're going to go into what highlights do in a second. But you can see how powerful this little tool here actually is regarding the labels. And if we go back to summary mode, this is where the highlights really come into its own. This is just magical. So as it's taken all these labels, okay, and you can go into the transcript, like I said, and make more and more sections to add to the summary. What you can then do is quite a few very interesting things here. So number one, if you wanted to edit this, you can just click on the edit section and you can actually edit one of these. We call them highlights. Even though the highlights each have labels on them, these little snippets are highlights based on what the AI has found or thinks is important to you. Plus, like I said, you can set the whole thing up on the back end. And as well, you're going to see that we have templates. So based on certain keywords, as well as the emotional intelligence, the AI will be able to segment your conversations into these highlights based on keywords and intelligence. So it really is phenomenal, and it really is easy for you guys to set up so it learns about you. And then if you want to make any edits, though, it's pretty simple. You click edit, and as you can see, it pops up and you can start hacking away and editing away with any of this. And then on top of this, we start talking about some interesting features. So let's say, for example, you wanted to share just this section of the highlight. You can actually just click the share button and it pops up with a share window, right? And it snips the actual portion of the video related to this transcript along with the transcript itself. And you can obviously send it to your usual the usual plethora of integrations that we're going to have here, and we're going to talk more about integrations later on. But yeah, I think you pretty much get the gist that you can share this. It's very much like Google Drive. We took inspiration from there. Their sharing features is really, really easy. So it literally is as easy as sharing it in this way. And once you create a shareable link, for example, you can now, as you can see, this is now copied. You can share this with anybody and everybody, so they can watch this little snippet of the meeting. Another thing, which is very, very interesting, if you wanted to, for example, let's say you have these snippets here, all these highlights, right? And let's say you wanted to share all of them, but you didn't want to do it one at a time. What you can actually do is just click on more than 2 of these. Okay, let's say we click on 3. You can click on all of them if you would like. And then all you need to do, if you wanted to select them all, you just clicked here, select all. I've just selected 3 to make it easy, but you can select all your highlights if you want. And all you need to do is then go to here, share highlights. So if I click on this, just give it a little bit of time to prepare all of it. What it's going to do is actually amalgamate all of the highlights into a bunch of shareable clips, or you can roll it into one reel and let it share all of these as a run-on long reel video, which is obviously fantastic for so many different things. HR, engineering, sales, and like, it doesn't really matter what department uses this. I think they're all going to find this very, very useful. So as you can see here, it's got all the highlights broken down individually. And then what you can also do, for example, is you can click here, merge highlights into one story. And then as you can see, it puts all of this into one story, and then it gives you a shareable link for this. And you can obviously share it to all your other platforms as well. Now, separate from this, if you wanted to, for example, just share the entire meeting, it's pretty straightforward. You click share meeting, and it lets you basically control this again like Google. So you can make it private, make it public. It really is as simple as a click of a button. And then once you've got this down, you can copy this link. And let me just open this up in a private browser so you can see what it looks like. So if I open a new private browser here, and I put this meeting link I just copied, so literally anybody from anywhere can get a meeting link from you, and it will automatically load it. They don't need a MeetGeek account. They don't need to be signed into the platform. Once you have it open, the snippets that you select or the whole meeting that you select can be shared by literally a few clicks of a button, as you can see, along with the transcript, the video, so on and so forth, which is obviously a really, really powerful tool moving forward. Now, as well as this, it also has typical things like the agenda that you can click on and edit. And if you want to make any notes, you can make some notes here. It's no problem. But as you can see, the fact that the video transcript and all the insights can be chopped, changed, merged, unmerged, the emotional intelligence with the different things being highlighted with the labels, as well as you being able to work in templates, so it really gets to learn who you are and who your company is. And the more you feed it, the more it's able to give you more insights in this page. I'm sure you can see how powerful the base of MeetGeek actually is. So from this base, it gives us a lot that we can do moving forward with this data to make these meetings really, really smart data for you. So let's talk about some of the insights that can now be had from these meetings at large. So now you've seen what MeetGeek can do at an individual meeting level and the amount of data and really customization and aggregation it can do for you. Now let's look at the insights. So if you go on the right hand side, you'll see a little tab here called Insights. If you click on this, what this will actually give you is a overview of your meeting specifically. So as you can see here, it's got an overall score. Now, this overall score is a very complex algorithm, and it blends together a bunch of different KPIs, which are listed down here, which, you know, are forever being adjusted. We're always working on it to give you a very accurate score for the quality of your meeting. And I'll talk in a second how we can actually customize this for you individually. But on an individual meeting level, it gives you an overall score. Plus it has a word cloud. So as you can see here, the size of the words are adjusted depending on how much the words have been used during the conversation. So if you're finding that the words are being used a lot, then this is representative of the size. So it's a cute little feature. So you can come to a meeting, click on the insights, and straight away you can see the main words being brought up on a regular basis, which is really useful, especially if you're managing a team. It really allows you to at a glance see what's being spoken about during a meeting to make sure, you know, the meeting is on point and relevant to what the meeting should be about. So this gives you the overall insights on an individual meeting level. If you then hover on the right, you'll see that we have meeting insights here as well. So if you open this one in a new tab, okay, so let me just cut that one out. Okay, so let me clear this one out, my meetings. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, so as you can see, now we have the meeting insights broadly over all your meetings. So we just came from the insights from one individual meeting. These are now the insights from my meetings collectively across all meetings that I've had. Okay, and it lets you see quite a few interesting things here. So I'll change this to a week so you can see the historical trend of my meetings over the last week. And obviously it has a bunch of different filters here. So, you know, you can filter by date. We have advanced filters as well. So you can filter everything by the different KPIs, by the language, by meeting duration. So it really does allow you to, and this, by the way, is just the beginning. Depending on where you're watching this, these sections could be much beefier because we're adding new features and benefits all the time. But by and large, these areas are self-explanatory, and it really gives you everything you need to drill down, whether it's by, you know, something specific or just generically by date. That's all pretty self-explanatory. The thing that really is very interesting is breaking it down by either your meetings individually, or if you're running a team, like I said before, you can break it down by the different areas in your team. So if I click here on engineering, I can actually see the overall score for my whole engineering department. I can see how well their meetings are doing. I can see how effective their meetings are. I can also see across this, you know, the amount of time, all the KPIs that are interesting for us, we can have a look at. Now, the interesting thing is here is the following. This overall score, like I said, is a very complex blend and an advanced algorithm based on quite a number of KPIs that we talk about later on. And the beautiful thing is, different companies value different things in meetings. And even on top of that, even inside a company, different divisions value different things in meetings. The marketing team have very different meetings compared to, let's say, the engineering team versus the HR versus marketing, sales. You know, all of these divisions in the company have different criteria for what they class as successful meetings. So you're actually able, and this is where the beauty of MeetGeek and the AI really kicks in. The more you give MeetGeek, the more it can give you. So we actually have a section where you can customize, even by department, you know, the key KPIs you want it to be listening for, so that it can really give you an accurate score for the quality of meeting. So it's not generic. Obviously it comes box standard and it gives you highly accurate data just out the box. But a little bit of investment in an area we're going to discuss about later will really help you, you know, and help the AI help you even quicker than normal. So inside the engineering department, you can also break it down according to the person, and really see who's contributing where and when. And then also the templates that we spoke about as well, you can break it down according to the templates to let you know, okay, the type of meetings that you're having, how is it going, and really drill down there as well. So we give you a lot of drill down, so you can really dive deep on the quality of your meetings. And like I said, there is a lot of customization, so that this really is a valuable oversight tool for you if you're running a team. It really is valuable. And obviously down here it lists all the different meetings that you have, and you can just click on each one of these to go into the meeting insights individually. But depending on when you're watching this area could have evolved, it could have changed, who knows. But this is an area where we're focusing a lot of our attention to really allow managers, team leaders, CEOs to really understand the flavor of what's going on across their organization, across their department, across their division. And like I said before, you know, you can only improve what gets measured, right? You can't improve something that you're not counting score for. So this is why we have this here. And we've seen, even within ourselves and with people in the beta tests, that their quality of meetings are going through the roof just because they're measuring it accurately. So yeah, this is a really powerful tool that we'll talk about later with the KPIs that you can customize, so that it really does give you aggregation and oversight in a way that's specific to not just your business, but the different departments in your business as well. Okay, so now you've seen a lot of what can be done regarding the meetings themselves, the data that can be extracted from there, the aggregation. So much can be done and so much can be tracked. And it really is underpinned by this section here, which is the templates. And like I'm saying, here is where you guys can start customizing MeetGeek so that the AI can start learning who you are. So put it this way, we have a lot of things already done here, right? We've made it very plug and play, but the little bit of time you can invest into this section as a company, the more MeetGeek is going to give back to you. MeetGeek is going to give back to you anyway. It's going to learn a million things about you and a million data points as it starts going through your conversations and analyzing, so on and so forth. But just putting a little bit of effort here can do a lot, and I'll show you how. So here we are in the meeting template section. And as you can see here, right now we're in general meeting. So when you actually have a meeting, if you don't set a certain template, it will use this general meeting structure for you basically. And it has certain points that it triggers from what you say, the emotional intelligence, so on and so forth. This is where it's all done. Okay, so here is the bog standard one, and depending on when you're watching this video, we are always evolving the platform, so things might have been different here, okay, as a bog standard template it uses for tracking your conversations and your meetings. So what I want to do is actually show you a custom one. So one thing that we do in our company is we hire a lot, right? And I think every company, especially if you're in a growth phase, you're always hiring. Hiring, HR, recruitment is always something that is top of mind for companies that are growing. And we use a multitude of different interview stages before someone gets hired. So we've actually broke these down into templates. So I'll show you an example of a template that we've made. And obviously you guys can make this for your company as well, for the things that are relevant to you. So here I am, I've clicked basically on general meeting in the top menu, and I'm going to change this to our recruitment one, which is a screening interview. So I click on screening interview. And as you can see here, it's changed this to these key things that are metrics that we care about. And here in the agenda, what we have is actually a bunch of notes as to, you know, for this interview, what we're going to be asking, what we're going to be saying. And in essence, obviously this is part of the agenda, but it also gives you and the people on the other side of the meeting a very clear structure as to what questions are going to be asked, so that everyone is fully aware of what's on the agenda. Now, the benefits of this is that you can now set your highlights very, very clearly. So as you can see here, the key questions are, your career goals, what are you really good at professionally, what are you not good at, so on and so forth. These things are basically put here as things that we want to trigger in the AI. So when the AI hears these things being said, again, it automatically starts recording that section, and it makes it really then easy. If you remember when we had the section for making highlights from a conversation, from this template is really easy then to just amalgamate all of this together and share this whole meeting notes, rather than sharing, an interview could go on for an hour plus, but the hiring managers don't necessarily need to see the whole hour's worth of interviews. What they could actually just get are the highlights for the key questions that are being answered, and then that way it makes it really, really easy for them to get a very strong gist of the sort of quality of candidate it is. Then if they want to learn more about the candidate, they can obviously go deep into the meeting itself, delve into the transcript, delve into the different video, because obviously there's going to be many more highlights than just this. So don't get it wrong. It's not that during this template view it's only going to keep these things. No, this is just the minimum of what it's definitely going to keep based on the trigger words that are being obviously highlighted based on what you're saying. It's also going to obviously track a million more things as well. Now inside this, for example, if we click on this, we can actually edit the label, edit the name of the label, the description, which you see here, what keywords it's looking for. So you can add this to it here, so the AI knows what to listen out for. And as you can see, you can say including meeting summary or not. So there might be things that you want to track, but you don't want to always add into the summary, so on and so forth. So all of these are completely editable. Now the other key thing here is, so let me give you an example for us. Marketing is an area that, in our business, since we're an app, we're a tech platform, we have a lot of people in the company who are developers and coders, but we don't really have people attuned for marketing. But marketing has a whole different lingo compared to, for example, engineering. So when we're hiring someone for marketing, for example, we can put in here custom dictionaries and custom words and custom highlights, custom keywords for the AI to say, okay, this is a highlight based on this word here. We know this is important, and every single time this word is brought up, the AI knows to be very, very conscious of what's being said around there, to know if it needs to extract something or highlight something. So again, this really helps. So, there's so many different fields and categories that, are very diverse, and everyone has their own, internal lingo as a company or even in their industry. So this we found was really, really helpful to help the AI learn a lot based on the context of how you guys are speaking with each other. So this is really, really powerful stuff, especially for internally for different divisions in the company. Like I said, engineering has a completely different lingo to marketing. So this was very, very beneficial. You'll find this very beneficial as you roll this out company-wide. And then obviously, as well as that, we have the KPIs. So the KPIs are really what are, let's call these like the top layer for the AI to learn emotional intelligence from you and your team. All of these things have a lot of coding behind it, but separate from this, what you're seeing here, we're going to be rolling out many, many more. It takes time and it's very complex to code these things when it comes to, the AI understanding the tonality of your voice and the emotionality of and the context of the conversation. So we are rolling more and more of these things out. But for example, for certain templates, there are certain things you might not want to track. If you're going through an interview, maybe you don't care about, tracking if the interview goes longer than expected. You might not care too much as well about the customer talk rate if you're hiring. But if you're having this for sales calls, you do want to track the customer talk rate. So there's a bunch of different things here that you can select based on your templates. So hopefully you can see here that by investing a little bit of time here and giving the platform some info on the way in which you structure your meetings and try and, you know, categorize them correctly, it can really help take everything MeetGeek does naturally, which is a lot anyway, but this section here, investing here, can really catapult the harmony and hybrid between what you do, what your team do, and what MeetGeek can do for you and all of you collectively. So yeah, this is a really powerful section to go with everything you've seen regarding the individual meetings and the insights that you can extract from there and how you can share it, so on and so forth. So another really cool feature, and I think you're going to find this really beneficial, because, you know, we have meetings across multiple platforms. You know, there's so many different softwares out there. So one great thing that MeetGeek allows you to do is to actually upload video content and meetings from other platforms really quickly and easily. So all you need to do is go to the upload tab here in the menu, and if you click upload new recording, what you can do is attach file, and I've got a meeting already set up here, and I'll just easily attach this. Okay, and again, you can select the language. There's so many different languages that we're integrating into the platform, and then we can also detail here how many speakers. Obviously MeetGeek will be able to track you know, how many people are speaking based on tonality and things, but you can help the AI out by just letting it know how many people are there. And then also you can select if you want to have subtitles emailed to you and the summary emailed to you if you want. And if you want some transcription cleaning, the AI can also do this for you as well. But I'll just keep the basic settings on and I'll click process. And what it's going to do now is upload the meeting and start analyzing it in detail. So let's come back when this is done. Okay, so now you can see that the meeting has now been uploaded. Let's have a look at it and see why this is just so powerful. So even with meetings that you, let me click view, even with meetings that you upload from other platforms, okay, if we go to the transcript part of it, what you'll see here is MeetGeek was still able to spot one of the key AI features that scans and understands the, like I said, the emotional intelligence behind what's being said, the context, the tonality, the stress in the voice or the non-stress in the voice. It has all of this, and as you can see, it highlighted this along with different keywords to know that this was an important thing that's being said. And as you can see, even though this part was what's important, it kind of knew intuitively to highlight this whole section from where to start. I mean, it didn't start from the sentence before it or the one before it. Didn't start up here. It kind of intuitively intuitively knows to start here. Okay, so this is really great stuff, because it means that you can upload previous meetings and all of the magic of MeetGeek can be applied to that meeting, even though it wasn't had on the MeetGeek platform. And then once it's in the ecosystem, obviously it has all the usual things, the insights, so on and so forth. And it breaks down the word cloud, and you can really see what's being spoken about. So even meetings you've had before, you can really dig deep and understand, you know, much more about that meeting just by uploading it into the platform. So yeah, this is a feature many people were clamoring for, and yeah, you can see it works really brilliantly, even as a generic upload such as this one. So that kind of wraps it all up. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch. As you can see, this is a real revolution when it comes to enhancing the quality of not just your meetings, but hopefully now you can see the benefits of how, if you're someone leading a team or you're a CEO trying to get a grip of what everyone is doing in your business regarding meetings, especially in this new landscape of this new way of working, then hopefully you can see the benefits of what MeetGeek has to offer. And this is just the beginning. There's so many more things. If we look at the menu here, as time moves on, we're going to be adding not just more sections here, but each one of these sections is going to become even richer in its functionality and benefits for you and your team. So overall, I really encourage you to, if you haven't already yet, click Get Started for free. It only takes a couple of clicks to integrate into your meeting software and your calendar. Okay, really take advantage of what MeetGeek can do for you and your team. And there's going to be quite a lot of you who have watched this and would like to dig even deeper, because let's not forget, what I've shown you so far for MeetGeek has only scratches the surface. We couldn't go on and on and on. Otherwise, we'll be here for 5-6 hours telling you all the different benefits and things MeetGeek can do. But if you want to delve deeper to find out exactly what more MeetGeek can do for you, then feel free to book a call with us. You'll find that somewhere on one of these pages. Book a call, book a time slot. We'd be happy to jump on board and really just talk you through, exactly how you can get more out of your meetings, not just with MeetGeek, but just, by and large. We're quite, after all this time of building such a phenomenal software for meetings, we're quite experts at conducting meetings ourselves. So we'd love to engage with you. But if you want to delve deep, feel free to book a call. If not, no excuses. Click the Get Started for free button, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side, and would love to get your feedback on exactly how you're using MeetGeek and how much MeetGeek has enhanced what you're doing personally and as a team. Thanks again for watching. Stay safe and see you on the other side.